Today, the Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Vivek Murthy, is here.
Well, Drew, first of all, thank you for everything you're doing to help raise awareness around this struggle. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
This has become a universal struggle for parents, figuring out how to manage technology and social media for their kids. And in fact, when you look at studies around this, parents cite technology and social media as the top two causes and reasons why they think parenting is so stressful now compared to a generation ago.
Yes.
And here's what we do know now. We're living in the middle of a youth mental health crisis with very high rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide among kids. And it's become clear when you look at the data that social media has become one of the important contributors to that youth mental health crisis. Last year I issued a report on this topic, and we noted that the kids who are spending 3 hours or more on social media a day, they face double the risk of anxiety and depression symptoms. And by the way, the average amount of use is about 5 hours a day among kids. Many parents ask me, hey, if everyone's using this, how could it be harmful? Or if it's free and open for everyone to use, if there were really harms, why wouldn't someone have done something about this? And that is a scary part, is that there are real harms that are accruing to our kids, but it just seems like a normal part of everyday living. And that's part of what we've got to redo our thinking on, is to recognize that as common as this is, there are real harms, and our kids are telling us about these harms. Everywhere I go, kids themselves bring up social media as something that's contributing to their mental health struggles. They talk about the harmful content that they're being exposed to. They talk about the just extraordinary culture of comparison that is accelerated on social media, where you're comparing yourselves not just to thousands of other people, but even to stuff that's not real, the touched up images, and you're constantly feeling worse about yourself. But the third piece that they talk about a lot is how addictive social media is. Nearly a third of adolescents say that they feel addicted to social media, but what they are subject to are these platforms that are designed by the best product engineers in the world with cutting edge neuroscience, by some of the best resource companies in the world to figure out how to keep you on as long as possible. And so that makes the social media environment particularly dangerous for kids.
What was it when you put out that warning? Because you put yourself out there for warning labels on social media. What was your goal that day, pushing send to your open letter in the New York Times and putting the warning labels on?
Well, quite simply, my goal was to make sure that we protect our kids from the harms of social media, but I also wanted changes made to make social media safer. And that's where I called for a series of policy changes, including reducing the addictive features that we have on these and protecting kids from them, protecting kids from harmful content online, and also making sure that companies are transparent with the data, the information they have about the impact of their platforms on our kids' mental health. Look, the bottom line is that we've got to get parents and kids some help here. What we've done is we've put the entire responsibility
on parents,
on the shoulders of parents. And we've said, hey, even though you didn't grow up with this technology, even though it's rapidly evolving, go ahead and manage it. Figure it out somehow. And that's just frankly unfair. So that's where these guardrails really come in, is we've got to make the job easier for parents. With cars, for example, we don't tell a parent when their kid's about to start driving. We don't say, you know what, go get a car, check out the brakes yourself, test out the frame, make sure it's crash worthy, make sure, by the way, that the engine works as well, make sure everything is okay about the car, and then put your kid in it. And by the way, if you miss something, it's on you. We don't do that. We say cars are complex. Let's put safety standards in place so that as a parent, when you get a car for your kids or put your kid in a car, you know it's been crash tested, it's got seat belts, it's got airbags, it's safe for your child. That's what we have to do with social media. We can't continue to put it on parents.
I've worked really closely with my kids on this. They don't have cell phones. But when my kids' friends come over, I let them play for a while. Their parents allow them to have phones, so I allow it for a little while, and then I go, okay, everybody, here's the phone box. All the kids throw their phones in there. And then I put it away. And these kids are now telling their parents, who are my mom friends, they're like, I kind of like it when she takes the phone away. It just forces me to stop playing on it. And I was so relieved because you feel nervous as a parent to step in with other children, but it's okay if that's the policy in your home.